Hey, this is Mark, and I'm finishing up on this iPhone 6 that was not charging. For some reason, my video just cut off partway through the other video while I was removing this lower shield. What I found after I removed it, I was looking around, inspecting, looking for damaged components, anything that looks off, and I found this coil right here was kind of lifted on one side. So I removed it and I could see that it was kind of falling apart. So I've replaced that coil with one from a donor board. And now the phone is charging. So I'll go ahead and show that. All right, let's see if I can get that in focus. You can see there now it is charging at 1 amp. So that's what I want to see. It's really a shame that the video cut out partway through that, because it was kind of fun figuring out what was wrong with this. I just kind of did a visual inspection and saw that this side of the coil was lifted, and it was not this style of coil, it was this style where the pads are on the bottom, and when I pulled it off, one of the pads just came right off. So I guess the point is, a visual inspection of this. If the guy that worked on it before me had pulled the shield off and just looked at it, he would have seen that this coil was fucked up. And then you go and look in the schematics, and it's got one leg on VCC main and one leg on CHG_LX. So, who knows what that is? It probably has something to do with charging, though. And then I went on and addressed the backlight problem, the partial dim. It was actually just the filter. So that's all that was wrong with that. And I'll go ahead and boot it up now, just so you can see that the Apple, the white screen is actually bright white now, which is what we want. I won't waste the time booting it all the way up into settings and adjusting the slider, because I just did that when it wasn't recording, and I just don't feel like doing that again. But trust me, I've already tested it. It is definitely full brightness now, and it is charging. So now we're going to look at what these guys are. Let's see. Let's drill down a little bit and see if we can just read the board and tell. All right, so I see that there's ground here, and all of these pads are separated from ground. Doesn't look like any of them are connected to ground at all. I can confirm that with my multimeter. My particular model will beep on a low resistance short in diode mode, which is very handy. And then when it's not, short, you just get a short beep and a reading. Or you get OL if it goes to the connector and there's nothing there for a path to ground. So, we definitely none of those pads are connected to ground. So they're obviously used for something. So we'll open up ZXW and see what are these guys for. And this is all way beyond the scope of what this device was sent in for. Let's see, Vibe driver and AP to headset, H4 control, HS4 control. I would assume that is probably something to do with like volume and play, pause, and mute through a headset. And then the other one is going to be something to do with the vibrator motor. So this was sent in because it wasn't charging, and the person who sent it in did not disclose any previous repair attempts, and definitely didn't disclose the fact that it has obviously been liquid damaged. So I'm not going to fix that stuff until they approve a revised estimate. I've already fixed their charging problem and their backlight problem, which was just a filter. So yeah, whoever worked on this before me is just kind of an asshole, because one, he didn't fix their charging problem, and two, he went through the trouble of replacing the backlight driver but didn't replace the filter and left it partially dim. And don't worry about that guy, he's just a missing capacitor. And he's also run it through ultrasonic for so fucking long that these blacks, the black coating on these chips has come off. So that means he put it in there, just chucked it in a fucking jewelry cleaner for like 30 minutes. So yeah, it was confusing me at first why it's missing all of this stuff. But then I remember years ago working in a shop that had one of those jewelry cleaners, and techs would just chuck it in there and crank the knob all the way up to 30 minutes and just walk away, and then you'd come back and all the black chips would now be shiny silver chips. So yeah, this one was solved by replacing TriStar and replacing Tigris, which probably was never necessary, jumping the transistor there, and then finally, when that didn't work, replacing this coil. And then the partial dim backlight, the wouldn't reach full brightness, was just a partially failing filter. So replace that and we're done. So yeah, I wish I would have got that all in one video, but oh well, now I got 2 days worth of content, right? So thanks for watching the exciting conclusion of the iPhone 6 charging problem.